I didn't have a job lined up. I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I took a job for a small chain of retail stores. And this particular retail store, they had it was a family-owned business. They had 15 stores, primarily in the Atlanta metro area. And my boss was the son-in-law of the owner. So the woman who started the business, her daughter marries this guy. He's my boss. Okay. So he greets me on the first day of work. Now, I'd worked lots of other jobs in high school, mowed lawns, worked in retail stores. I did lots of stuff. But this was my first real full-time job. So he greets me at the door. He says, "I'm really excited to have you here. You're going to be the assistant manager of the store. But before we get started, I have a task for you. Waiting for you in the back room is the current assistant manager, but he doesn't know you're coming. So your job is to go back there and fire him, and you get his job." And that was my first task on my first real day of work. Went back there and had to let that guy go, and then I got his job. And then my boss did everything we are trained not to do as leaders. So he loved surprise visits. He loved to try and catch someone doing something wrong. So he'd do a surprise visit to the store. He'd say, he'd pull me in the back room. He'd say, "I don't like what Sharon's wearing. Go fire her." And I had to do more layoffs during that time than any other time in my career. And that experience kind of woke me up, made me realize a couple things about my life. First, it made me realize work should not have to suck. It can be a source of fulfillment and meaning and purpose.
Yeah.
Doesn't always have to be a source of, stress and anxiety. Now I get it. Like, it's work, and we get anxious about work and stressed out about work. But we have a lot of choice, a lot more choice than maybe we recognize about where we work, who we work with, how we work. We can choose a lot of things. We can't choose necessarily the families we get. We get what we get. Like when my kids were, in pre-kindergarten, they were always told, you get what you get and you don't pitch a fit. Like, you get what you get, and that's it. You can't really choose your family,
Right,
but you
right.
can choose your workplaces. So that was my first aha. Second aha, if my leader, my boss, was any indication of the state of leadership in the world today, I wanted to change that. This was not good. Like, he every time he walked in the store, he created chaos and pain. It was not necessary.
Wow.
So I wanted to change leadership. And third, that was where my purpose was born. I wanted to cure workplace dysfunction everywhere forever, having no idea kind of how that was going to unfold.